Hello, everyone. Welcome to Grid Tonight, your weekly motorsports news program. I'm Kobe Lambert from the Podium Finish, and let's start off with some fallout from Colton Herta's dominant IndyCar victory on the streets of St. Pete. After crashing out of the season opener at Barber Motorsports Park, some thought Herta would be facing an uphill battle in the championship fight, but Colton didn't seem too concerned because every driver has a bad race from time to time. However, you can't have too many of them because consistency and winning races are key to winning the title. In a season with a great amount of parity, you could get a season high 5 wins and still lose the championship because of 4 DNFs and finishing outside the top 15 in 3 races. Herta bounced back from the woes of Barber by winning the pole on Saturday. Then on Sunday, nobody had answers for the 21-year-old sensation. Herta took the green, never looked back, and it was basically over for the field on lap 1. In the 100-lap race, he led a total of 97 laps, putting an epic beatdown on the competition, moving up to fourth in the point standings, 5 points behind championship leader Alex Palou after 2 races heading into the Texas doubleheader weekend. Since his NTT IndyCar Series debut at the end of the 2018 season at Sonoma Raceway, a lot of people have been aware of his talent and potential to be the next American superstar in open wheel racing. Colton Herta ran full time in Indy Lights in 2017 and 2018, finishing third and second in the points, and in 2018, he won the Freedom 100 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. In his third IndyCar start in 2019, Herta won his first career IndyCar race, winning at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, becoming the youngest winner in IndyCar history at only 18 years old. Later that season, he won the season finale race at Laguna Seca, and last year, 2020, Herta only found victory lane once at Mid Ohio and finished third in the point standings, so definitely a solid year. After winning the Firestone Grand Prix in St. Pete, his strong performance really ignited conversations about Formula One teams taking a look at the young American driver. Most recently, Formula One further invested in their commitment to racing in America by announcing a brand new street race in Miami, Florida, beginning in 2022. The Miami Grand Prix, racing around Hard Rock Stadium, home of the NFL's Miami Dolphins. Miami is one of the largest markets in the United States as Formula One's popularity continues to grow stateside. The only missing ingredient seems to be the absence of a full time American driver on the grid. In an interview with Charles Bradley from Motorsports.com, racing legend Mario Andretti said the addition of the Miami Grand Prix is perfect timing for a driver like Colton Herta to find a home on the Formula One grid. However, Andretti makes it perfectly clear that it's important for an American driver to be in a competitive, top tier Formula One seat like Mercedes or Red Bull, not just any team, just so you can say at the end of the day, I raced in Formula One. I was a Formula One driver. Fans won't be interested in watching the driver running at the back of the grid in a car that's not capable of winning or being somewhat competitive. Andretti thinks you can get an American driver in Formula One producing great results with one of the front running teams. He also believes that fan interest in Formula One in the US would skyrocket. On the other hand, he believes that if Herta wants to make the jump to Formula One, it's now or never, because teams could consider him too old. And it's really crazy to think that a 21-year-old could soon be considered too old for a Formula One drive. In addition, Mario criticized the FIA's super license system that allows a driver to be eligible for Formula One competition. He mentioned Haas F1 driver Nikita Mazepin, pointing out how he gets a super license to race in Formula One after not setting the world on fire in the junior categories, while one of the top young talents in IndyCar cannot have easy access to potential Formula One opportunities. One of the most notable drivers in history to go from the American open wheel racing scene to Formula One was Michael Andretti in 1993, Colton Herta's car owner. In 1991, Andretti won the kart championship and finished runner-up in 1992 for Newman Haas Racing. His strong form in American open wheel racing earned him a Formula One drive at McLaren alongside the man, the myth, the legend, Ayrton Senna. In Michael's only Formula One season, he didn't complete the whole year, finished 11th in the standings, 7 championship points scored, 7 retirements in 13 races, and a best finish of third in his final Formula One start in the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, finishing on the podium with Damon Hill and Jean Alesi, and then Michael Andretti was later replaced by Mika Häkkinen for the rest of the season. When 1994 rolled around, Andretti returned to kart like he never left, winning his first race back at Surfers Paradise. For the rest of his career, he primarily focused on the American racing scene, putting the Formula One stint behind him. However, Andretti isn't the only driver to make the jump to Formula One after finding success in America. In the years 1999 and 2000, Juan Pablo Montoya ran full-time in kart. As a rookie in 1999, Montoya won the championship, winning 7 races. A year later, he won the 2000 Indianapolis 500 with Chip Ganassi Racing. 2001 came around. His success in kart and winning the Indy 500 in his first start at the Speedway earned him a Formula One drive with BMW Williams. Sometimes trying to take the leap over to Formula One doesn't end up working out so well. In 2019, after starting running the IndyCar season with Carlin Racing, Pato O'Ward got a unique opportunity from Dr. Helmut Marko. Red Bull liked his potential and made him one of their junior drivers with hopes of a possible Formula One drive. As a result, O'Ward left IndyCar for the rest of the year to focus on his Formula One ambitions. At first, Red Bull had him racing Formula 2 at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, then 3 Super Formula races in Japan. Unfortunately, the calculations with the Super license points didn't add up for him to become Formula One eligible. Both Red Bull and O'Ward parted ways and headed in a different direction. Everything worked out well for O'Ward because he's now with a competitive team in the NTT IndyCar Series, Arrow McLaren SP. Pato took a huge risk to chase his Formula One career, and he's extremely lucky that it didn't leave him on the sidelines for long. And here's the question that Colton Herta will have to ask himself: do I want to trade a top tier IndyCar ride where I can compete for wins and championships, or race in Formula One where I might not be able to win unless something crazy happens, like Pierre Gasly winning last year at Monza for AlphaTauri? In an interview with Marshall Pruitt from Racer.com, Michael Andretti, owner of Andretti Autosports, said he hopes that Colton Herta will be a member of his organization for many years, but he won't stand in the way if a great Formula One drive comes into play for Colton, especially if Ferrari wants to put him in their program, but he'll pump the brakes if back markers try to sign him. In the article, Herta said he would be interested in racing for the American F14 Haas F1, but only under special circumstances, such as the program being funded by Ferrari, with an opportunity to move up to Scuderia Ferrari, the senior team, at some point. If any Formula One opportunities arise from his strong form in the NTT IndyCar Series, he would be satisfied to at least test a Formula One car at some point in his career. And here are 2 questions for all of our viewers in the comment section below. Do you think Formula One teams will come calling for Colton Herta, or is it in his best interest to stay in IndyCar long term? On Monday, I had a chance to ask the driver of the number 21 Wood Brothers Racing Ford Mustang, Matt DiBenedetto, a question. Last Sunday at Talladega, DiBenedetto was in contention for the win and came up short once again. 2021 is DiBenedetto's final year with the Wood Brothers, with Austin Cindric set to run full-time next season in an iconic number 21. So Matt will be out of a ride at the end of the season, but he feels like he has to accomplish one thing before moving on, and here's what he said. Knowing it's your last season with the Wood Brothers and lots of unknowns at this point about your future, how special would it be to get them win number 100 before departing?
Oh, that's my number one goal. That's what's most important to me, not only for myself, but for the whole Wood family, because they are family to me. And I want to get that 100th win so bad. My wife and I talk about it all the time. If I was like, I tell her I will not be able to live with myself if we do not get that 100th win for the Wood Brothers. I want it so bad. And I even had offers to potentially drive other cars this year, a couple different offers when I wasn't sure, if I was going to be able to return to the 21 this year. And when, I found out I'd have the opportunity, even though it's just 1 year, I was like, I would trade even multi-year deals to have one more year in this 21 to drive for this team and family to get that 100th win.
So that concludes another episode of Grit Tonight. Please like and subscribe to the Grit Network here on YouTube. We encourage you to visit our Patreon page, Invest in Us. Be sure to check out Pablo's to get your furry family members something special and all of those goodies. I'm Kobe Lambert from the Podium Finish. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful evening.